lot of circumstantial evidence. And based on the circumstantial evidence, we have a conviction of Mr. Wellons for 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of carrying a concealed firearm. With that said, let's talk murder. So this is what Mr. Wellons had to say. What's up, DK? My story? Well, DK, let me start off by saying that I didn't do what I am accused and convicted of. And like I said before, I know a lot of guys can and will say the same, but I can say that with all honesty. It's just a matter of proving it. I'll keep it short. Leading up to my arrest, the lead detective in my case, Detective Ponce, coerced and made 2 individuals give statements against me. How can I say that so easily? Both individuals gave depositions years later and admitted that he made them say what they said against me. And I do indeed have both depositions with me. Why didn't my state paid attorney not use both depositions in my favor? That's another story we can speak on. Leading up to my trial and conviction, I was convicted with no evidence whatsoever. Just hearsay. And the individual that testified against me was facing charges of his own. 2 counts of armed robbery, 2 counts of attempted murder, and firing at an occupied vehicle. That is Mr. Wooden. Why didn't my state paid attorney not impeach him on his pending charges at the time of his testimony? Because he, my state paid attorney, willingly agreed to the state's pretrial motion that the witness couldn't be impeached using his pending charges against him. He agreed not to mention his pending charges by name, basically. And just days after testifying against me, those charges were dropped. His case is public records, of course, but I'm having a hard time finding his plea agreement. But again, that's Mr. Wooden. Well, DK, until we meet, that's the short version of my complicated story. Charles. So let's talk about this. So I don't really have, Mr. Wellons didn't give me a lot of information, so I can't really do a personal legal analysis like I normally do. However, he brought up the idea of witness impeachment. Now let's talk about this. So, witness impeachment in the law of evidence of the United States is the process of calling into question the credibility of an individual testifying in a trial. The federal rules of evidence contain the rules governing impeachment in U.S. federal courts. That's the Wikipedia definition. Now let's go a little bit more in depth. So lawyers.com really talks about it from a different standpoint. So let's talk about it. Unwary witnesses can be tripped up, impeached by their own prior words, conduct, and reputation. Now, according to Janet Portman, attorney,